The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Before we get started, as always, we'd like to take a moment of silence to remember all those who were lost in the line of duty. And while we're not a political show per se, I think this morning we would be remiss if we did not mention how badass our country is, our president is, and most importantly, our troops are. We live in the greatest country on the planet. So take a moment, reflect, thank God. May God watch over our troops.
I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damp. I can read his righteous sentence in the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on.
I mean, John, I almost want you to sing over this a little bit.
I have to know the lyrics. I know glory, glory, hallelujah.
Mike, I don't know, do the Jewish people sing this song or no? I'm not.
At Purim, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, oh, they do? Okay, cool. I mean, it's shameful. Well, not shameful. I do know the lyrics. I mean, if you'd like me to.
You
I
can.
used to walk on across the sea.
I have issues and worries about you that you know all the lyrics of this song.
As he died to make men holy. Come on, boys, get your patriotism up this morning.
The melodic tones of Mo wafting over the airwaves.
How do you not get excited? God. We're just winning way too much, boys. We're winning way too much.
I never get tired of winning. There's never enough winning. There's too much winning. Ever too much winning.
Too much. Please, make it stop. We're winning way too much.
These people are crazy. My favorite line of that whole thing. These people are crazy.
See, what a way to start the morning. Fill your chest.
That's it.
All right. Don't worry about it. It's coming to an end, you communists. Oh, God. Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Gentlemen. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Well, now we're on to our first break. I'll see you in a minute. Welcome to Sports Beat. Fredericks and Freed. Blue, nice to see you. Mo behind the glass. I haven't been here in a bit. I apologize. I know how much you've missed me. How are you?
Doing good, doing good.
Excellent, excellent. I am as well. I just told you beforehand, I celebrated my 1 year as a Mr., no longer Sergeant. It was glorious. I've been collecting for doing nothing for a year. What a great time that is. It's a great time to be alive. You know? Thank
Sorry,
you
it's
very
a little bit delayed.
That's all right. That's all right. So I was saying before,
Whoever's got their phone on out there, turn it down. What is this? Amateur hour? God.
Somebody's got their phone.
Somebody.
I tell you, this
Not it.
third-rate operation.
Not it. come on,
come
Dalton.
on!
See, this is why we didn't want you out there. See,
there you go. You know, when you're right, you're right. Women. We're going to talk about the women. We're going to talk about the women today.
oh boy.
So, there you go. So, normally, you know, we dabble a little politics. You know, can't be all sports, but I'm freely admitting to everyone today that this is going to be almost exclusively political, but with sports overtone today.
Nice.
Yeah. Almost exclusively. I've got a lot of issues with you people, and you're going to hear about it today. So we would be remiss without that stirring rendition of Glory, Glory, Hallelujah.
Wait, the recorded one or mine?
Yours.
Oh, thank you.
Good. That's silly. Don't be ridiculous. So, we bombed Iran again today. These idiots don't learn. They don't learn that we're the big dog on the block, and Daddy Trump is not playing around. We have the greatest military in the world, and when Trump says he does. When Trump says he does. He does. And so it's one of those things about the United States, and it's going to dovetail into the Olympics, you know, and we're going to talk good and bad about the Olympics and about what I think you should be doing, you know, and, you know, my opinion, it goes out to billions and billions worldwide. They're all watching right now. I know. But it's just a stark reminder of where we are and where we were and how I feel towards the country. I'm not a pro-war guy. I don't think anybody really is. I'm not even a violence guy per se. I mean, I realize police work is violent work sometimes, but I prefer the nice route. You know, I like compliance. I like calm. I like mellow, but I like the way we do things now. Like our president telegraphs, says you should make a deal, says that he doesn't want to do this, and says what's going to happen if you don't. And we're watching it in real time again. And it just, to bring it sports wise, it's like the smackdown and the trash talking of the men's hockey team and what they said to all those other men. They went out there and they said they were going to kick ass. My favorite was when they played, which team is Leo Drysdale on? Is he on Denmark? Whenever they played, and Brady it was Matthew Tkachuk comes off the ice and goes, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. He looks right at him on the TV. And I said, you're absolutely right. That's America. That's America. Donald Trump staring at the Democrats going, these people are crazy. Yeah. That's America.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's what I like. And that's what the Olympics represents to me. And that's why I'm so freaking mad at a bunch of these idiots right now, which we're going to talk about later, Mike, but I don't want to hog the whole mic. Please.
No, that's fine.
Please jump in with your insightful thoughts and commentary.
For a minute, I thought he was having a stroke there for a second. He was putting his head in his lap, and what the hell was happening?
Totally agree. You know that. I'm with you. I know we just finished the Olympics. Going into baseball, you know, you're going to have the WBC. America also. These baseball players are excited as well to play for America. So it's going to, I know a little bit different with hockey, with baseball. I know a lot of hockey fans were fine with it. Baseball fans, you know, it's a little bit different. You see how these pitchers and players kind of get injured more. I was on the fence, you know, WBC wise, letting baseball players, you know, play.
Ruin the Mets season, that WBC.
I know. I'm still 50-50 on it, but I'm more because of the men's and women's team winning for the United States of America. You gotta be in it. Gotta be in it. WBC this year.
I'm going to jump right in, and I need your perspective, Blue, as the resident, you know, double X chromosome here. We're going to have a chat. Do you know what happened with the women's hockey team? And okay, so Donald Trump. They win gold, and they were badass. That goal in overtime with that Keller was unreal. I was jumping out of my seat. I was so happy they won. USA, I'm screaming all the time, except for Hunter Hess. He's one of our pictures. We'll get back to that. He can go fuck himself with all his stuff. And
I'm really in a mood this morning. I love it.
I can't.
All fired up.
I can't stand it. Can you just say USA and be happy that you won a medal for your country? Can you just do that?
You would think.
I'm back. So Donald Trump makes, it's an innocuous little joke. He says that I'm going to have to, like basically he's telling the men he's going to have them, like he's congratulating them. Cash Patel's in the locker room.
I'm going to have to invite the women too.
Right. And he made a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. And so all of a sudden it has to turn into this, Me Too woke nonsense. And I felt so bad. I felt bad for the women because they had to play into it. And some of them are like, we're not going. They're going, oh, they're going to go to Flavor Flav, though. Noted domestic violence, wife beater, gun possessor. Now, yes. let's go to Vegas with him. Let's do that instead of going and see the president. And my irritation comes from, and I wanted to ask your opinion, they could have really upped their sport. You go to Donald Trump. It's not about the man. It's about the office. I have friends of mine that won Cop of the Year for their actions at a scene in the and they know who they are in the Concourse Village area in the 4-0. It was the 4-0. No, it was the 4-4. I take it back. It's the little split there. Inside baseball for NYPD. Don't pay any attention to that. But Barack Obama was the president. And I can guarantee you none of those 4 guys that went there voted for Barack Obama at all. But they went and they were respectful because it's the White House and he's the president. And these, I'm calling them idiots, decided to make it a thing, trashing, like you could bring the sport forward. I'm going to bring Megan Rapinoe into this in a little while. But I get it. We draw this, we draw that. You are a minuscule fly other than golf and other than tennis in the world of sports. You're a fly on everything. The male sport dominates. You had a chance to build your brand so people are going to watch them. And just like the U.S. soccer team, that was the first time in the World Cup where I ever cheered against a team. And when Megan Rapinoe missed that penalty, the penalty kick, and they lost, I almost had a stroke. I was laughing so hard. And this is the United States.
Tell us how you feel, kid. Again, dude, you're in a.
He's all fired up,
bro. Yeah,
I can't stand it.
Look at this dude. What is this dude even thinking about?
If you're on the women's hockey team and hearing and Mo basically gave you the joke. That's basically what it was. I'm gonna have to invite the women too. He's making a joke. You laugh about it. And you show up at the White House and you have the McDonald's with the men. That's what you do.
And people are complaining about the McDonald's.
It's
I'd rather tacos, but I would eat McDonald's. Yeah.
It's a tradition. People don't realize that you go in the catering halls now, and what are they having? White Castle.
Well, not just that, but
that's all that other stuff.
That's Trump's thing.
Yeah.
That's Trump's thing. Is the
And
McDonald's? It's become a running joke.
Yeah. But so, what would you do? Would you have answered it the same way? Like, say you were offended by it. Let's just say you were.
I mean, it's hard for me to say that because I wouldn't be offended by it. I don't know how I would act if I was offended. I don't really get offended.
But let's say you were. Would you still go to the White House? You wouldn't be partying with Flavor Flav, would you?
No, I'd go to the White House still. I mean,
yeah. And it would be USA.
Yeah, absolutely.
And all of these players, I'm watching them now, like the Kachuk brothers. They were the best part. that Jack Hughes, Jews for Hughes, Jews for Hughes. They chant that every time.
Do they really?
Yeah.
No more coffee for him.
Yeah, I know. Really?
Oh, wait, no, he's got water.
He was worried about me.
So
he was worried about me singing the Battle Hymn of the Republic.
So they but so now they're forced to answer these questions. And I was listening to Megyn Kelly's podcast on the way down, yesterday's anyway. And she's going, you got to tell these people to fuck off. That's what you got to do. Fuck off. And just USA. And they can't. And now we're all like, like we're all turning into these little scared kids again. I can't.
I see.
I can't handle that either.
You got the picture of Cash. I love this. I mean, obviously, some people would say that's AI. I don't necessarily know if it really is.
Allegedly.
But this is the thing. Like using Cash Patel as an example, we're so used to now seeing anti-USA rhetoric coming from our athletes, especially ones representing the country. I mean, you saw it before the Olympics even started. I'm not a big Olympic watcher, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll try it this year. And it took less than a day before that one male skier or skater or whatever the hell he was.
Hunter Hess.
Yeah.
He
comes out, and he's already, things haven't even started, and he's already shit talking the country. And I'm like, grand opening, grand closing.
And I was so glad when he didn't win. I'm rooting against you now.
Yeah,
and your sport is relevant once every 4 years. You got to keep a presence up, and now you've alienated half the country. Why do you have to talk about ice at the Olympics?
So
not the real ice.
So we're so used to seeing this anti-government, anti-politician, anti-USA rhetoric coming from our athletes that it's been so long since we've seen, athletes want to be around the director of the FBI, for example, or athletes want to talk to the president of the United States. So when I see Kash Patel not just traveling to Italy, yes, for work, but traveling to Italy as well to see the hockey team, which he is a fan of hockey.
They invited him in. That's
the thing. What I see, what makes my heart full is the fact that we have an FBI director that wants to be around these guys. And more importantly, we have a team that, like you said, invited him in, that wants him in there, that's partying with this guy. That, for me, fills my heart. Like, yo, we're back. Like, these guys understand it. They get it. Representing the U.S. and they're wearing that on their sleeve, as opposed to, oh, well, I'm here, but I'm so ashamed of my country. Get the fuck out of here.
Why are you wearing the flag?
And then you have Megan Rapinoe saying as a captain, she would not have let him in.
I know what happens in locker rooms, scissoring. Sorry.
And then I know.
Is that like when you used to make like the snowflake? That's what.
Yes, yeah, it was safety scissors. Safety scissors is when you wear condoms. Sorry, go ahead. See, I'm a 2-star player this morning.
There's a lot of people that should have worn condoms.
He said I was on fire.
You're on fire. Jack Hughes is, the Hughes brothers. Their mom,
Jews for Hughes.
She was the
she was
head of the women's
development for the women, and she was a Division I athlete herself.
Right,
she was an excellent hockey player.
And I don't think the way that she's speaking, I don't think it's all. I know we're going to go more on the women's team. I don't think they're all anti-Trump.
I don't think they are, but they have to be now.
They have to.
I think John made a great point with that. I think that a lot of them got dragged in. They really had no choice. Once the team as a collective kind of made that decision, like, hey, this is the angle we're going with, who's going to be the one now to stand up? And I think John's 100% right. They're probably half, if not more, of that team would have been excited to go to the White House.
It's State of the Union.
It's the White House.
It's not the man. It's
right.
not the 100%. It's not the man. It's the office. And it's like,
Dawn, I sent you a picture if you can.
You're trying to develop a brand. Right. So for the women's team, like women's soccer, women's hockey, women's basketball, I don't care which one it is. You're trying to develop a brand. And it just seems like over and over again, they keep stepping on their figurative dicks. They can't stop themselves. I don't understand. Like, you have to build a brand. You need Republicans to watch your show. You need Republicans to support your sport. And you're shitting all them out.
Supposedly the WNBA is going to be like go the route of MLB and probably have a lockout, but we'll see, because they're doing the whole
do they play
thing again.
Did they play basketball last year?
Well, I mean, this is the thing, and me and Mike were talking about it before. It's like,
Mike was talking.
Well, all right, yeah, Mike was listening while I was talking.
Just checking.
This is business. It's supply and demand. It's really simple, right? So you sit there and you say, well, why don't women athletes get paid as much as men athletes? Women athletes don't draw as much as men athletes. It's really
the WNBA has never turned a profit.
It's simple dollars and cents. This is not, because they get paid less, is not suddenly, saying they're lesser of human beings. And it's crazy. And you're 100% right. But the women had such a great opportunity. Like I said to Mike, right now, cold, name a female hockey player on the U.S. team.
I could name one.
Well, okay.
One.
Right. And they had the opportunity to have all of their names and faces highlighted in front of the entire country on primetime television, where the majority of the country, like you said, doesn't make a difference. Democrat, Republican, didn't make a difference. Everybody was watching. And instead of doing that, they showed exactly why women athletes fumble every fucking time they have an opportunity, like you said, to expand their brand. They do nothing but throw temper tantrums, because the loudest advocates, doesn't make a difference if you're talking about gender, if you're talking about race, if you're talking about religion, the people that yell the loudest about equality don't really want equality. They want superiority. That's the problem. That's what the wall they keep running up against. They don't want to be treated as equals. They want superiority. They're not going to be happy until they're shaming. Yeah, don't worry about it. That's Dan doing construction. It's okay. The ceiling might fall in, but we'll be all right. Good enough construction. We stand by our work because standing under it would be too dangerous. You'll be all right. So they don't want this equality. So when they get equality, it's not enough. It's not enough. Oh no! Well, listen, say what you want about the Tate brothers, but I'm not even remotely a fan of the Tate brothers. But Andrew Tate had made a point one time. He said, "You know what? Because you want to stop all this bullshit immediately, drop a bunch of men and women on an abandoned island with no food, no money, no nothing, and watch how fast people stop worrying about pronouns and gender roles."
Well, so I can do something for the women's sport as well. So Elisa Liu is from a very liberal place. I think she's from Sacramento, and she gave up on ice skating because it was just too tough on her. And then the story is she started skiing and enjoyed skiing so much that she got inspired to come back. This woman is definitely to the left of everything I think about. And she couldn't stop cheering for the United States enough. She couldn't stop saying how proud she was to represent the United States when she won the gold medal. So this isn't a Democrat thing. It's just we're on the women argument right now. It's just really dumb decision making. She's done for herself more than anybody could ever do for her.
Yes.
And when she won the gold, because she wasn't supposed to win the gold. She wasn't even supposed to medal, which made it even better. When she won the gold, I was ecstatic, and I got to admit, I was waiting for it because, like I said, she has some very liberal opinion. She does, and I don't really care about that, but she does. And she went up there, and it was just all United States. Happy to be here, happy to be an American.
The hair flip that was heard around the world.
The greatest country in the world, the one that gave me all this opportunity. Because she, unlike that other cunt, she left China with her dad. Her dad left China and immigrated here legally.
8-year-old me would be obsessed with me.
Yes.
What a twat.
We'll get to her in a minute.
What an insufferable witch.
I have an opinion.
Women are really awesome, honestly.
Yeah,
I mean, some of them really are.
I love women.
When does Al Bundy come on the air?
Not all are that great.
We should have no ma'am t-shirts. Yeah.
I mean, and listen, if we had planned ahead, right?
That was their club, no ma'am.
If we had planned ahead, we would have had that.
But but I mean, you're just, so if you think it's just because I have political disagreements with somebody, I don't.
No,
you're playing for the United States. Act like it. Act the part and be happy. The only reason we pay attention to Eileen Gu, and I'll let you have the floor after this, is because she's hot. That's the only reason anybody cares. She's pretty. She makes millions of dollars.
All right. And the pretty is different. Pretty is different than hot.
And the Chi-Coms pay her all this money. Why on earth is America celebrating this idiot?
I don't think anybody really is, honestly.
You wouldn't know that by NBC. They had her on all the time. Everybody's like, look, I don't begrudge her money. I'm a capitalist. Make as much money as you can. She dates a billionaire in China. God love you.
There you go.
Make it rain everywhere with all your money. But why am I paying any attention to this woman who doesn't want to skate for snowboard for the United States?
The fact that she's dating a billionaire, I didn't even know that. Well, that's a
billionaire.
That explains why she runs her mouth the way she does, because there's no consequence.
All right. One moment. No Neil Sedaka song for her, please. We were going to talk about this earlier. Please bring up Neil Sedaka.
Yeah, quick. Rest in peace, Neil Sedaka. We found out he passed away, and if you're a dad of girls like I am, of course, happy birthday, sweet 16. So.
See how I weave that in there? That's called a pro lead-in.
Wow,
he's on fire today.
I know, really.
And he was. I'm trying to remember. He something with the Olympics.
This is riveting.
Oh,
So your thoughts on the Chi-Com?
I don't know why she did it. I know you left. If you left, then you should have always been for China instead of America.
Good. She's an American citizen. and then she goes back over to China. That's nice. Yeah. And the way she, like, okay, you can be cocky. The Kachuk brothers are cocky, but they're cocky pro-American. This one's just telling everybody how wonderful. When she fell down, like she face planted on one of her things, and I was laughing my ass off while she did that. I hate it. I hate
Oh,
it.
she's insufferable.
Yeah.
But then to go back to the WBC, here's one thing. You know how a lot of American baseball players play. You know, if their their parents are from whatever, and they'll play for that country. But they love America. That's the whole. Even though they're playing for that country, because you know you have I think Harrison Bader. I think he's playing for Israel or
Okay.
a couple. So
I know Israel had a baseball team.
yes, they have a baseball team.
Jews for Hughes. So the but like, you know, so
But it's different. The guys, they're all she's shitting on America. These guys, our guys.
I just, but
And even Elisa, when because you were saying how she had very liberal views. I mean, she's got the what is it, the nose ring or the ring inside of her lip.
yeah, lip. It's a lip.
She had apparently on her social media she had her pronouns in her profile, and she took them out. She took them out, and people started dragging her about it. And she said, "Yeah, I put those in there when I was a kid. I'm not a kid anymore. I don't give a shit about that stuff." Took it out.
Yeah.
God bless her.
She
But
is anti-Trump though.
So what?
it's all right.
But that's
Fine.
it.
Bro,
I know,
that's
it.
okay, dude. I don't
fine.
give a shit about
Okay.
that.
So we all have our opinions.
If you're
but
that's
if you're
it.
cool
If
about
you're
it.
anti, so what? You're
Yeah,
anti-Trump.
so what?
Love
You
your
can be
country.
anti-Trump and
Yes.
pro fucking America at the same time. You can be critical and supportive at the same time.
It's
For
the
fuck's
essence of
sake,
America.
you are there representing the United States of America. I mean, give the crazy billionaire dating self-fucking righteous broad credit. I mean, she hated America and she went and fucking represented China. I don't know what to fucking tell. At least she had the credit to go do that or the confidence to go do that, but God, she's got to be insufferable.
Do you know
Could
the
im-
lyrics to this song?
I don't. Could you imagine having to listen to that broad's fucking yap all day long? 8-year-old
I-
me would be
I tell you.
obsessed with me.
And-
oh my God.
And on the women's team, you have the greatest hockey player in Hillary Knight winning her 5th medal. And the
Mike knew one of the players.
the whole discussion is there
Yeah.
at
was great.
you know, closing ceremonies, and now it's all gone because of this whole
Right. And
issue.
and she had to come out, and I get it. She has to support whoever the players were that were offended. I'm like, you play hockey. You're offended by a joke.
Like, how
Why
can
you
hockey
joke?
players
You play
get offended?
hockey. That Jack Hughes is missing teeth, scoring the overtime goal.
Yeah, but
I-
women's hockey is different than, like, you know, men's hockey. So
well, they,
I would imagine, because
No,
I don't see men's hockey players getting offended by much of anything.
It's a tough sport. I mean, I get it. They wear face masks. You know, men don't really care about their teeth. Women might, but you know, but I mean, like that. It's a tough sport. I've watched it. I've actually gone to a game. I've gone to a professional game. There weren't a lot of people there, but it was fun. I liked it. They're good at hockey, but I just can't. Like we had mentioned before, why do you keep stepping on yourself?
Yep.
Why?
They had such a great
All
opportunity.
you had to do was go to the White House, shake his
State
hand.
of the Union.
Well,
Well, no, yeah, it
that was
was
cool.
both. It was both. I mean, the
Yeah.
same thing with the men. The men had their little
Well,
photo op
yeah.
and all that at the White House first, and then they would have State of Union. Yeah, because you'd imagine they could have brought them up into the galley from both directions. You could see the photo op to have them all in the galley. Men's on the one side, women's in the other
Yeah, it
aisle.
would've been
It
great.
would have been an awesome fucking.
was the
thing.
only time the Democrats stood up.
I was gonna say the Democrats would have been conflicted though if they the ones that didn't want to stand. They wouldn't. Their heads would explode.
But so that Eileen Gu is to talk politics for a second. It's the only reason anybody listens to AOC. She's dumb rock, but she's pretty. She's pretty. She's putting on a little weight now, so it's not for long.
Well, she's stress eating.
Did you like that drunk rant on TikTok while her husband was asleep or her boyfriend was asleep on the couch snoring? 'Cause
TikTok is all
they-
she's good at.
They destroyed her. They destroyed her for that little visit to Munich when she had that little conference. They destroyed her because she couldn't answer questions because she's not bright.
Well, that's just
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You don't date the bartender. Just
You-
throw
you-
that out there. You don't date the bartender.
She's pretty sharp for a marble, though.
Yeah, for a marble. Yeah, sharp as a bowling ball. You're correct.
Wow.
It's
a sharp crowd this morning. Speaking of sharp, really, everybody's fired up.
but so Eileen Gu is the same thing that AOC is. She's pretty. People think she's attractive, so they pay attention to her. The moment she turns into a wildebeest, nobody's going to care about her opinions anymore. It's just how it goes. And it's just I don't understand. Well, we're talking like with her. I don't have any with Eileen. I like my big issue is not that she skated. I keep saying that. Not that she snowboarded for the Chi-Coms. I don't care about that. You're an idiot. The Uyghurs, the repression, the fact that, you would be dead in China 30 years ago because women weren't valued, only allowed to have one kid. Yeah, let's just gloss over that. Gloss over the millions of people that were killed in all their concentration camps we can talk about. Yeah, let's just gloss over that. But anyway.
But it's about Trump.
It's about Trump. But my issue was not that. My issue was the amount of attention that the American media paid to her and how she was on everything. I'm like, she's snowboarding for the Chinese. The Chinese she's snowboarding for. And I'm like, what do I care? Why do I care about this woman? Why? Like I said, I don't begrudge her money. Like, all these really couture things, they hire her. She makes millions of dollars on her own. God love you. Make billions. Please make so much money you can't even shove it in a shoebox under your yard anymore. You got no room for it. Please do that. Please do that. But why do I have to pay attention to it? Why do I have to listen to it? And why does America have to promote this woman? I don't get it. I don't get it. She was on almost every day. No matter what sport was on, there was something about her every day. And I'm like, let the Chinese talk about her. I don't care. She could have won 20 gold medals. I don't care. You're not representing America.
Well, that was the media's little dig at every, I'm unfortunately, right winger and that was watching the Olympics. That was their little way of injecting it in, like, haha, look at this. Even your own athletes are so embarrassed by you. It's just bullshit. It's stupid, man. It's exhausting. Because again, as the father of two daughters, I would love female sports to be celebrated in the same way as men's sports, but these broads can't get out of their own way. And again, at the same time, I also recognize that men's sports right now and are going to draw more than women's sports. I don't expect my daughter to go get paid the same contract as LeBron James. Just not going to happen.
LeBron is a lovely juxtaposition for Jack Hughes, though.
Yeah.
The flop extraordinaire, the guy that hurts his pinky and is crying on the ground.
Was that just a social media thing, or did they really put Eileen on the cover of Time magazine and not?
I think that's a social media.
That's a social. They haven't done that yet, right?
They will.
Like that. Of course they will. Of course. And I mean that Jack Hughes photo, with him, the no teeth, holding the flag. Yeah. I mean that's as iconic as that 1980s hockey team. Speaking.
Well, you have that,
and to see. Oh, sorry.
Well, you have Hellebuck. His stop that became a picture too.
Right. That's insane.
Look
at he. That's insane.
I mean, the gods were definitely helping us.
A couple times.
McKinnon had a wide open net that he
you saw
every
that
time.
All you got to do is tap it in. Just tap it in.
If it wasn't
McAvoy stopping that goal,
the 5-on-3 power play.
Yeah,
that's if Canada scored.
My mom had balls. She'd be my dad.
Yeah. Canada would have won.
A lot of ifs.
Jeez. Wow.
I guess. But so just to show you the class and how I wish the women would have handled it differently. Okay, and then we can move off my angst towards Olympic women at the moment. So Jack Hughes comes back to New Jersey. Jews for Hughes. And Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
Should be.
It's gonna be. He comes out and Tage Thompson plays for who are they playing? Was that the Buffalo Sabres? Tage Thompson is there. And the man says, it's not about me, it's about the team. And he brings them out. And that was a beautiful moment. Like he let him be part of it because he was part of it. And then he gives that speech. It's all about America. It's all about America. It's all for you. It's not me. It's the team. And I'm just sitting there like, God, I wish you women just would have maybe consulted him for a second and a half.
That's a guy that knows how to get you
But
ready.
they're-
Are you ready? Are you ready? That's a guy that knows how to meet the moment. Listen, can you broads please explain to me what the fuck meet the moment is? Because that's all. I mean, I've heard it a little bit here
wasn't
and
that,
there.
wasn't that a Smith song? No, that was me.
I don't even. But you heard it when
No one got
when all this happened with the locker room joke and all that. That was the big thing. These men hockey players, they failed to meet the moment. What the fuck in the wide world of you belong in the kitchen does that even mean? I don't know. I don't know.
All right, so when you look it up, AI Overview says it's rising to the occasion by being present, courageous, and proactive in response to current, often challenging circumstances. I had to look it up though.
Leave it to a woman to have the answer. You see
No,
what-
no, no, no.
Women in their
Google
kidding,
had the
Dawn.
answer, not
I'm
me.
kidding.
But
I know.
in the end, the Mets, the men's
Who told her
team-
she could speak?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, you guys said you didn't know what it meant. So.
We had a great show today, everybody. Thank you.
As Blue cuts the cord.
I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
So the men's team did meet the moment.
Of course they did.
The women's team had that moment. All these shutouts, scoring 6 goals every game,
Yes.
and they lost that moment. They
Yes.
didn't meet the moment.
Overtime win, fantastic
And that
tying
dude-
goal, fantastic.
Dude, that
tip in
winning-
by
that winning
captain,
goal was
and the winning goal
sick.
by Keller. That move around and
that
shot.
winning goal was sick.
I was
Yes.
I was going crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. I was screaming
Yes.
at the TV. What a great goal. And they fucked it up like a minute later.
Yep.
They fucked it up a minute later.
And you know what, John? Honestly, you win the day today with that thought because I think you are 100% right. I really think they were forced into it.
That
I
was
really
his
do.
fault.
Yeah. I think so.
I really do. I think if you got these broads on the side, and talk to them one on one, I think a lot of them would have been like, yeah, well, no, I really wanted to go, but I can't.
Yep. It's probably how it went down. And they all made a collective decision.
Yeah,
That's
one
what it was.
voice. We're
Yep.
gonna do this as one voice, one way or the other. Where are we at? Yep.
And following off on that about other hockey players, you saw that liberal reporter in Canada berating Brady Tkachuk and trying to make him feel bad about a joke. Then you have Austin Matthews and they're the Canadian podcaster going nuts on him because he dared go to the White House instead of coming back for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I'm sitting here like, no, but there it is. Yeah, cry harder, snow Mexicans, cry harder.
Dude, I gotta be honest with you, bro. I had never heard the snow Mexican thing till this Olympics, and I think that is the funniest. That's funnier than the fucking women's hockey team throwing a temper tantrum. Snow Mexicans is good. All right, so listen, when you are ready to parlay off of this,
Wait.
go ahead.
USA took another thing away from Canada right now
What's that?
with Jack Hughes. The skier he's dating, right? Skier?
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah, she's pretty
Yes.
hot. That's a nice piece of chicken right there. I'd listen to everything she has to say. I'd listen to everything she has to say. See,
singer.
singer doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
So
Singer,
listen,
skier. It begins with
The bottom line is this. I think this picture sums it all up. Right there's the Hughes.
100%.
There's the Hughes family. I will make all of America a deal.
But
When the Hughes family cares, I'll care. Till then, shut the fuck up.
The mom even told everybody to man up.
Shut
She didn't care.
the fuck
She didn't care.
up.
everyone's
Go cry about it. Nobody cares. That's it.
But everyone's saying when they got to Miami airport and you had all the politicians there making it political again. You know, they're saying
Mike, we can't parlay off the top. We
I
can
know,
slide off the
well,
topic if you
alright.
keep bringing us back. Mike.
Okay. Forget it.
No. The
Mike,
one time
Mike.
Mike wants to talk and I shut him down.
Mike.
No, Mike. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mike, I'm going to say something.
I'm sorry,
it is
Mike.
It is not Sports Beat with Fredericks Freed and Mo.
It is
Sports
true.
Beat with
Don't listen to
Fredericks
me.
and Freed.
Don't listen to
do
me.
not let Mo shut you down. I would like to hear your thoughts.
The MSNs, CNN a little bit, but more MSN saying, and other people saying the politicians are making it about them and this, but they're not. It's about what we've been saying. America.
America,
America.
as we say.
America.
So we would also be remiss. So there were some defining moments in my life. Now, obviously not, obviously the easy ones, you know, my marriage, my children, we're going to get rid of them. That's not part of this.
Oh,
so
geez.
there were,
That's gotta-
Is your wife watching?
That was kind of intense. We're gonna get rid of them.
They were
He's like, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
When I lost my virginity last year,
when I had that sex change, I didn't tell anybody about.
Would you look at the time?
Look at the time. Oh, hey. But so moments in my life, some good, some bad. When I broke my leg in 10th grade, when I was 10 years old, really badly, that I had to really overcome a lot. I tell that to big students a lot. 9/11 was a defining moment of my life. Another one of them was the 1980 Olympic hockey team. And Eruzione was livid on X, telling these women and all these other ones to man up. It's about USA. It's not. I try and tell people what it actually meant, like, because a lot of folks that I talk with weren't even alive, or they were very, very young and didn't understand what that meant. And plugging Netflix has a fantastic documentary on Miracle. I'm crying. I'm on TV. I'm crying, crying. I couldn't stop crying. It was
how they bring him back in the arena and sit him on the bench. Yeah,
but
it was nice.
So you had to understand, so, and it juxtaposes with Trump. I told you this was going to be a political show this week.
It's all right, man. Let it go.
But gas lines, even number at the end of the license plate, you got gas on this day, odd number you didn't. They ran out of gas all the time. 80s. The Iranian hostage crisis. I tell people, people bitch about a credit card at 15% interest. My mom bought her first house at 19% interest, a mortgage at 19% interest. We couldn't do anything right. 3 Mile Island, that giant scam, but 3 Mile Island, crisis of confidence, the malaise speech by Jimmy Carter, wearing a sweater, turning off the heat. There was just nothing. And I try and tell people it would be like a junior college team playing the New York Rangers today. That's how big Do You Believe in Miracles was. These are kids. The oldest one was 23 years old. He was 23. That was Mike Eruzione, by the way. He's the oldest one on the team. And kids and Herb Brooks, what they did for the United States, it was, and I had my leg, I was in a half cast up to here at this point. I was on my back for 6 weeks and in traction for 6 weeks. And I'm sitting there, and I just remember watching that game with my mother and father. And we're just screaming at the TV. It meant so much. And that's what the U.S. men's team, and unfortunately what the women's team didn't quite get, what the women's team could have done for us. And because I get it. There's this whole wing where I'm supposed to feel bad for everything I say, everything I do, everything I believe. We're just a bunch of shitholes where the whole world hates us. No, they don't. The whole world fears us. And when they fear us because we're the big dog. And finally, with that men's team and a few other people, there were many.
I mean, the women's team did it. They did. Collectively, it could have been such a great. They divided it.
Yeah,
it could have been such a great moment with what do we have? The most medals we ever won, right? Something like that. It could have been one collective just ball drop on the world. Even for women that don't have balls, maybe some do, some don't.
Some
I don't know. It's 2026. Maybe it's a labia drop. I don't know. But what could have been a ball drop on the world?
Can we have a doc? Can we hire a doctor here to describe what's going on?
I don't even know how many genders we're up to anymore. I mean, really.
But what I remember, I was watching it, and that I hadn't felt that feeling in quite some time. Because I've been told that the way I think about the United States and how I think of my citizenship in the United States and how I think about the job that I did and all these other things that happened, I was proud of who I am and what I did. And it just seems like for a very long time, maybe I'm just getting older and I'm not the advertising demographic and, hey, old man, we don't need to listen to you anymore. And okay, I'm fine. It's not my time. But when the men won, I'm sitting there and I felt it again. I felt it again. And Cash Patel coming in, but Donald Trump getting on the phone and them singing a Toby Keith song, and just
Toby Keith's even in his healthiest of days, probably would have been crying man tears watching
Yeah.
them sing. That's exactly what he wrote. That moment is what he wrote that song for.
And I
100%.
and I get angry about people that are trying to take it away from me.
Well, dude, and I'm telling you right now, I agree with you 100%. I felt the same thing even watching the women's win. And I even made the point of saying to people that this is why I like hockey. I'm not the hugest hockey fan. I don't follow hockey year round. I mean, seemingly they play completely year round. But I love playoff hockey for the intensity. But I also admire hockey because it seems like more than any other sport, they keep the politics out of it. There's no real bullshit with it.
It's an expensive sport, but it's played by grunts.
And
Played by grunts.
Yeah, and to see that, when the women won, they're all arm in arm singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
Nobody's kneeling. I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is hockey. They preserve the sport over politics. They preserve the sport over the woke shit that's going on. And then for them to just, God, it took fucking 5 minutes after the men won that they felt like, well, we got a big dog. We have to meet our moment.
And the reporters and all the news media, they're all desperately trying to hang on to this, white men evil bad thing. And you just can't let it go. And I really do wish that, like, I can't put words in their mouth, and these men are tough as nails, but I wish they would have listened to Megyn Kelly. You got to tell these people to fuck off.
Well, I think most of them did, honestly. Again, that's that whole picture from the Hughes family. What else can you really say besides that? Yeah, and dude, the whole white men bad. Yeah, it's funny because I brought that up with Ilhan Omar. There's not really a parallel, but it did point out where the women are complaining, about the men's team and all.
Sand Mexican.
Yeah. Well, here we go. But it's like they're so worried about equality and being pushed down or whatever when Trump is making, like you said, a joke. It was legitimately a joke. But yet at the same time, I have an elected representative in the United States Congress, somebody elected to represent me, on public TV, on a news channel, saying that white men are the largest threat to the United States of America. And she wasn't joking.
No, she wasn't.
So now I'm supposed to not be upset about that, and I'm supposed to feel bad for women because Trump made a joke. Nah, you know what? Maybe they didn't hear. Fuck off.
Did you see that woman that was saying that whole white milk is white supremacy?
Bro, it's insanity. It's insanity.
Wait, what?
Whole white milk is white supremacy.
Oh.
I just sat there. I go, what level of mental gymnastics do you have to get to white milk is white supremacy?
Trump broke him, bro.
I like chocolate milk. It's delicious, but
I like whole milk.
Yeah, racist.
I guess.
Thoughts, Mike?
Guess I am.
Thoughts on white milk? Riveting.
I drink cold white milk
I know,
every
Mike.
day.
Mike, really, you gotta.
He doesn't want to talk now because you shut him down before.
That is true.
So you remind me of Defending Your Life, this Albert Brooks movie, when Rip Torn is his lawyer, because the whole thing revolves around you go to heaven and heaven's a bureaucracy and you go to a trial basically, and it's whether you move on or not. It's how much of your brain you use. It's about fear. It's a very good movie. But in one scene, this reminds me of you because his lawyer couldn't make it one day because he was in the inner circle of doubt. Just run with it. And so the lawyer comes in and the lawyer doesn't say anything, and he goes, he's silent but excellent. Every time, silent but excellent. His silence is his key. His key is cunning to this whole conversation.
It's like
it's just sad.
it's a Penn and Teller act you guys got going.
No, I'm saying it's just there's nothing. I'm American, America this, America that. It's just I don't know what to do anymore. I really don't. I thought we were heading kind of in the right direction, and then with the Olympics, and then this had to happen.
I think that
imagine if the men played first,
right,
and then the ladies team played. If this whole Trump called them first
and said invite the men and did the same joke, the men would have laughed, and they would have been there. The men would have laughed and been there. They wouldn't have made a thing of it. They would have known it was a joke. Trump is an alpha male. And I think, well, all presidents are narcissists and alphas. You don't get the gig without being that. But you have to think you're the best person in the room and the smartest person in the room. But I think there's a whole culture of people that tried to get rid of the alpha male. They tried to eliminate that from society. And you need alpha males. You need alpha females as well. They exist as well. You need them. You need those people. Like, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall, that kind of thing. And I just think there's this whole nation of people. And I think I've always said it's a variation of the Mike Tyson rule. Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. I think what this medium has done, present company, we're all here and get punched in the face if we wanted to, if I said something, but like I can say anything I want about Eileen Gu right now. I can. And I have no fear that I'm going to get punched in the face. None. And I could say whatever I want. And I think that's what destroyed the idea of the strong person, because you can get destroyed from somebody on a microphone with some influence, and you can get, debanked, deplatformed. Everything can go, because the only time I'm going to say nice something about the Snow Mexicans for a second. If you recall, that's why I always carry cash. Always carry cash, kids. Always carry cash. Don't let them get rid of it.
Always carry $100 bill.
Well, I have a Jewish story in a minute. Jews for Jews. So it'll dovetail into my cash story. So the Canadian truckers during COVID, when they wanted to work and they blocked all of Alberta, the first thing they shut down was their credit cards. Then they shut down their social media. They had cash to buy gas. And it got so bad that the Canadian government was stopping the stores from taking their cash. But the only reason they kept that protest up so long is because they had cash. And so, but those are alpha males. And the dovetail of the cash and the Jews comes now. You're going to see where this all weaves together, this tentacle of a story. I had probably 2 years on the job, and I like a sucker, I volunteered to work a week's vacation. And back then I needed the money, and you didn't. So for those that weren't on the NYPD, you can work 2 weeks of your vacation. You get an extra straight paycheck. Okay. And
more though.
They used to send you out to other places. Now, well, you could stay in your precinct now, so it's easy. But I was working at One Puzzle Palace, Police Plaza, for those that don't know. And I was doing the security. And this guy worked there, and I was probably 27, and I think he was in his early 50s, and he was Jewish, and he had this, like, how our shirts were, and he had in the pocket, there was this large wad, I thought it was like cigarettes or something. Oh, I don't know if I'm smoking, but cigarettes are bad too. Alpha males, Marlboro Man, fucking, on the fence. And I go, what's that? And he takes it out. And it's $10,000. And I go, $10,000? The fuck you carrying? You buying a house, buying a car? And he goes, no, I'm the youngest of the family, and my father was in Auschwitz. And he goes, always have cash because you never know. And he carried $10,000 around in his pocket because you never know.
You never know. And
I sat there. That's some creepy shit. Jews for Hughes. Jews for Hughes. They say that all the time. Yeah, well, they do. So, so cash and the idea, and like he was an alpha, like, just to bring this forward, like he was going to take no shit. He was going to go down dying, like if they ever decided to implement the final solution again, but the whole idea of the alpha male, and my story about cash is it's all tied together, that they're trying to eliminate that person. It's bullying now. It's mean words now. It's what you can and can't say. It's recognizing 9,000 genders. It's I'm offended by literally everything, and I have a fucking microphone to say it. And that's gone. And so dovetailing off Mo's point is that's what hockey represents. Because even they tried to water down football. They tried to water down baseball. Hockey is one of the few sports. They tried to get rid of the fighting, and nobody liked it.
Mike, I sent you something to extract if you can. Send it on.
But so hockey and the spirit of the Olympics for women too. So, but take this way, is alpha males. It's not sensitive people. It's my country's better than yours. I'm going to kick your fucking ass, and I'm going to take a gold medal. And the women and Hunter Hess, and there was there was another. No, it wasn't Eileen. There was another female. She was an ice skater. You can see her face when she was crying when she lost. I laughed at her too. They had to make it about them. They had to make it about, I don't like mean orange man bad. And they couldn't just revel in the fact that you worked your entire life to get here and you are the best. You're the best. You're out there competing at the top level with everybody else. And we don't care about 90% of these sports, but once every 4 years. And you just couldn't do it. You couldn't let the alpha come out. You couldn't let it come out.
Because
it had to be about them. And that's the part I can't figure out. I just can't.
The more pacification of America.
The pacification of America. That's correct.
Nice, boys. You've been on for an hour. Get
All
up, stretch your feet. Mike, extract that.
Mo, you don't tell us what to do. We're the boss of this show.
No. See, I'm actually the producer, so that's how. Yeah.
Okay, so he's got the controls. He can just hit the button.
Yeah.
And no mics.
Yeah, no. All right. Yeah, get up, take a break.
Done.
We'll be back 5 minutes.
Okay.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Brilliant.
Canada would have won gold if they were the 51st state, of course.
There's the irony in
Yeah.
that. Look at you, bro.
Also, I don't get why people were complaining about Albert and his call.
There's nothing wrong with it.
I don't see it.
No. Nothing wrong with it. I was telling you guys off air about that little piece of trivia that Dave Christian was on the 1980 team. His uncle was on the 1960 team. That Herb Brooks was the last cut, and in that documentary on Netflix, they go into great detail about how hurt he was to have to cut the last guy. They actually had an interview with him, and it was like because it scarred her for his entire life. And because he's on the 1964 team, they don't beat the Russians. And so Brock Nelson is Dave Christian's nephew. So in all 3 gold medals, there's been somebody involved with Dave Christian or his family and all of them. So they have to start breeding again because we have to keep winning. I never get tired of winning. Too much winning. It's so much winning. Please, please stop winning.
No, we're going to win more. We're going to win more.
Yeah. So, I even for all the bitching that we've done, I still enjoy it. I really do get into the Olympics and the winter, believe it or not, more than the summer. I enjoy it more. But I still root for America. And people like to bring up, I think it was the 1968 Summer Olympics. That was with the black gloves and the racism in America. Yeah, okay, that's a political statement. I get it, and we were a different country back then, much different country. So for me to say that politics doesn't come into it, we didn't play in the Summer Olympics in 1980. Jimmy Carter kept us out of this. The Russians weren't allowed to play in this Olympics. So, does that taint the hockey a little bit? I don't know.
That's what some are saying. It should be an asterisk.
Nah, all these asterisks, Look, it's kind of like when me and Mo argue about baseball and the dead ball, the flat mound, the way pitchers pitch back then, the way batters played, the level of talent that goes into it, the steroid era, which we go back and forth on.
Cocaine era, the
Cocaine era,
162 game season and no night games.
All of that.
It's the start of the ABS era.
ABS?
That's
thank
horrible.
God. Thank God. Get rid of that umpire. Get rid of him. I want the automated strike zone. I want a computer for that. Sometimes computers are good.
I should have done. I saw it, but did you see the call that Aaron Judge tapped? That was called a strike, and it was a ball.
I didn't.
Just by a 1/10 of an inch.
Really?
Yeah.
No, they did.
Right on the edge.
That's why they're pros, though. That's why they're pros. I had my one glorious little league season where I remember there was one pitcher and he could throw 70 miles an hour. And that was fast for me. And I got the only hit for our team that one. And I was walking around like I was like Spartacus defeating the Romans, but
This is a second Al Bundy parallel for the day. I like it.
It is the greatest show that was ever put on TV. Though they've tried to do it since. It's never going to happen again. Married with Children is the greatest show that's ever been on TV.
Definitely was.
But
ever since I said "till death do us part," I long for the sweet repose that death promises.
He comes in. I hate life. Life hates me. But no. So baseball is upon us, and as I've said, I'm not a big fan of spring baseball because it's much like preseason football. It's really like 10 players. The bottom 10 players are competing for 3 spots on the roster. That's all it really is. And these other guys are just working on something. So you win 10-0, you lose 10-0, you strike out 90, you give up. Like I was telling you guys, like there was a preseason game with Andy Pettit and he was getting bombed. He gave up like 5 home runs. And everybody on WFAN was going, like all the callers were going bananas. And I'm sitting there going, he was throwing curveballs. He was trying to locate his curveball. So all these guys knew what he was doing and were teeing off on him because they're trying to make the team. It doesn't matter. None of it matters.
That's what Met fans were doing yesterday, complaining because Devin Williams gave up first pitch home run. That's what
we're going to end up paying for that.
No,
we're going.
I told you guys, you are. You guys,
the Mets.
He was just regaining his form in August and September.
The Mets,
Get out.
The Mets ruined him. The Mets ruined him in that Milwaukee Brewers game when we beat him when Alonso hits that home run.
I think he's
ruined him.
We'll see. But yeah, like we
we
said,
should have re-signed him with Diaz. We should have. And the WBC ruined that year for us when he jumps up and down like an idiot and blows his knee out.
freak act.
That's what ruined the season for us. That was the best Mets team we had. That was the best one. And
That's why I was saying when we going back to the Olympic team, having the pro guys play like I think it's hockey players, broken finger, broken arm, whatever.
yeah,
But they still play and whatever
Yeah.
with the baseball players. So it's always about the pitching. You kill your arm, you're done for the season. That could cost you also the season.
much like
unlike one hockey player gets hurt, you still have a plethora of players that can.
much like the Four Nation, it was Six Nation,
Four Nation.
Four Nation. That was fantastic. They should do that all the time. And I'm coming around to the WBC. I thought it was like a dopey thing, and you're right with pitching and everything. But I think it's great that you play for your country. They should promote it more.
So I'm looking at this roster. So Skeens is actually, he's gonna get in that rotation. Oh man, this. All right.
I think they're only because I know McLean.
They have a pitch count on
Pitch
them, right?
once.
I assume.
I think they have a pitch count. I think they're only pitching once or twice. That's why I know, so what about, I'm not into spring training either. You could have the worst record in spring training, which we've seen, and team was in the playoffs.
I remember the Jets in preseason going 5-0, routinely going 5-0 in preseason, and this is their year, and they win one game in the regular season. Which brings us to another piece of American exceptionalism. This is how I look at it. And this is why I'm so happy to be an American and what it is Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was coming out of USC. Did he win the national championship? I'm not sure. With you, he might not have, but he comes out of USC. He's one of the top picks, and he goes to the Jets, which is a horrible. I got to give the Jets credit. They are making very good moves. I like what they're doing right now. So they could be a relevant team again if they just stay the course. But Sam Darnold was awful. That team was awful to him, and the team stunk. And then he bops around in Minnesota, and one of the dumbest things they ever did after he wins, 12 or 13 games that year, they think J.J. McCarthy is the answer. He obviously isn't. And Sam Darnold goes to Seattle and wins a Super. Now, he wasn't the reason they won the Super Bowl. That was, Walker and the defense, and you find out later that they had cues about the linemen. They had picked up little cues on the linemen. That's why they were sacking May so many times. It was a boring game, by the way. It was a nightmare. And then we had Bad Rabbit and his walking through the fucking the forest or something. I know what his real name is, Bad Rabbit. So come back here, you rabbit. So Sam Darnold is what the USA is. It's what the Olympics are supposed to be. This man was down. This man was counted out. He did not give up. He kept playing. He kept trying. And he had I think he was on the Titans as well, right? Was it the Titans or was it I thought it was the Titans. I could be wrong on that. But Carolina, could be Carolina. And he didn't do well there. He did not do well, but he kept going. And he told everybody, I am a good player. I can do this. And he was rewarded for it. And now all of these guys are supposed to be better players than Sam Darnold. They're supposed to be better teams than Sam Darnold was on. Me and my Cowboys and the perennial, Dak is the answer, whatever. You just saw what America is. He wasn't playing for America, but what America is. And it's, you get down, you pick yourself up, you work hard, and you get a chance to be the greatest. And he's the greatest now. And no one can ever take that away from him. No matter what you think about him moving forward for the rest of his life, he is a Super Bowl champion. And for me, that's what it spells. That's what it is. He doesn't care about pronouns. He doesn't care about, he's not overtly political, or I haven't heard anything political from him, but he knew what his job was. He knew what he needed to do, and he went out and did it. And he was proud to be there, and he got to celebrate, the quintessential, next to baseball, obviously, the quintessential American sport, football. The most popular sport in the United States. I know soccer is in the world, but in the United States, the most important sport, and he is the best at it today. And so that, to me, also brings up this idea of America. This is kind of like the theme, what we're going off of today, and what America really is. And once again, I know it's like a broken record. It's why I'm so disappointed by the women's team. It's what disappointed me the most, is because it was the quintessential American experience. You ladies worked that hard. You got to the pinnacle. You beat the best in the world and had to do it in a really exciting fashion. And you just couldn't get out of your own way. You just couldn't get out of your own way. You couldn't let the country and the world celebrate you for how fabulous you were. You had to make it about the big orange man in the White House and whatever political axe you had to grind about the United States. And it's just it just bothers me. And so, like, tying it all together with Sam Darnold, your thoughts on that?
He did what, like I said, was down, brought himself up, which is like the most American thing that we could.
Jack Hughes lost teeth and scored the game-winning goal. Quinn Hughes would not be taken off the ice in the overtime and scored that game-winning goal.
I mean, it had to be painful to have those teeth exposed like that, like broken, exposed.
Yeah.
There's a picture right there.
And still say, still stay focused enough.
I believe.
Yep, right there, got him. To still stay focused enough to be around, stay on the ice, and stay focused enough to score that winning goal.
Well, that's like that juxtaposition they make about LeBron James and his flopping.
Oh,
like and they're always like he hurts a little bit. He pulled a muscle in his leg, and they had to carry him off the basketball court. And this guy lost teeth and was on the next shift. The next shift he was on.
And that's how hockey players are.
Yeah, picked his teeth up and was on the next shift.
I think he even said that, Hughes, when he got off the plane in Florida. He said, that there's often a lot of comparisons. He goes, but this is just how hockey players are. Like Dawn said, this is how we do.
Yep.
Seen plenty of players play with the broken ankle of the hockey balls.
It's a different mentality, and it doesn't.
So
I mean, the closest parallel I can do is Nolan Ryan getting hit in the mouth and pitching 75 more pitches after that.
The Rangers are doing a giveaway for fans. The bloody shirt this year.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. And that's also another good documentary on Netflix, the Nolan Ryan one.
Yeah,
that's a great one to watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't recommend that Miracle Netflix documentary enough. I can't. I mean, the movie Miracle's great. Kurt Russell did a great job with it, and all those actors really kind of let you feel it. But this was it was real. It was real. And I didn't even know certain things, like Aruzio and all the families were in that little house,
Yeah.
And they
were talking about sharing the bathrooms and how you had to run in and out. Yeah.
And all the like the hockey players with the fathers or the mothers that were dying or died, and how it meant to them. And you could see the tears welling up as they talked about it. Jim Craig and his father, and just amazing stuff. And we're never going to see that again. That's never going to happen again because we have pro athletes doing everything now, and even these amateurs, at least in the major competitions, they're sponsored and funded. They're loaded with money once they're at that point. But
going back to hockey, if you follow hockey, you always have the other.
Mike, you just reminded me of AOC in Munich. Just keep going. Stay with it, though, Mike. You're going to get it.
You got this.
What should we do in Taiwan, Mike? If China invades
the amateur team. That if you see the videos of the camaraderie of them singing "Freebird" and everything else,
it's fantastic. And like I said, I think this whole show, and at least for me anyway, like I apologize at the time. It's not normally a political show. But for me, this whole show is American exceptionalism and why this is the greatest country and why we are able to be the people we are again. I think we lost our way for a while. I think I was going to mention it in the last bit. We go in these 20-year cycles. It's much like crime and politics, and I have simple answers because you have kids and your kids don't want to be like you. So if you're conservative, they become liberal, and then they're liberal and their kids don't want to be like them. And so it goes like these 20-year cycles, policing, crime, all those types of things. But I think for us right now, but for Donald Trump turning his head away, we wouldn't be here. If Joe Biden or Kamala Harris had won the election, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, somebody had posted a picture of what, when anybody that was complaining about the State of the Union, they said, the State of the Union that could have been, it had Kamala Harris, obviously, in Trump's spot. And then it had Walls in J.D. Vance's spot, and then AOC in Mike Johnson's spot. Jesus. Oh, my goodness. Oh, like anybody that's complaining about what you're looking at. Oh, could you imagine, bro?
I can't fathom it. And one of the things, and look, I'm not going to say there's presidents that don't like the country. There's presidents that have complaints about the country, like Barack Obama definitely had complaints. But this is the first president since, I'll say Clinton too, but he couldn't keep his dick in his pants. But since Reagan, where I felt good. It feels good to be an American. I don't have to apologize to anybody. I don't have to make excuses for what I like, the sports that I follow. I don't have to bow down to some agenda that some AI bot made in some farm in China, probably with Eileen Gu as well. She's probably a bot. She's probably an AI creation, probably not real.
That's why these athletes should be happy.
I agree. I can't bring myself to understand you're in the greatest nation in the world. Bar none. And you still can't find it in yourself to just be proud of it. Have your opinions, but just be proud to be an American.
It's like they say, America is the only country, or it's a country so great that even its haters don't want to leave. You got people making boats out of refrigerators, and rowing in the ocean to try to get here and break into this country because it's so fucking great. And they'll get here and they just complain and shit on it. And it's the people that were born here, born and raised here, fed off the tit, have the balls to shit talk it. That all of that shit talking comes from a place of privilege. These kids really don't know. I'm glad you brought up Reagan too, because I was not obviously alive and old enough to know Reagan, but not old enough to really appreciate the way we can appreciate Trump.
Reagan comes right after the Olympics because Carter was the president then.
Yeah.
Right.
But Reagan,
And it was
81
no,
Reagan gets inaugurated. And then the next day, he made sure because Carter was trying to get that. He made sure the next day, right after he was the president, the hostages were released.
I mean, the parallels between the two, and just the arrogant pro-American, attitude. I'm very, very glad we're able to live this era. It's chaos, he's definitely whacking the hornet's nest.
The 84 Olympics brought America together too.
Summer Olympics did.
With Reagan and Mary Lou Retton.
Mary Lou Retton, Edwin Moses. Who was that long distance runner that got tripped by the one with the bare feet? I can see.
Zola Budd was the barefoot, right? And then
she tripped her, the American, and she ended up not winning. And we all felt bad for her. There was a lot that Summer Olympics. There was a lot going on.
Was that Bruce Jenner Olympics? Honestly, I think it wasn't it?
No, Bruce Jenner was in the 70s. He was a decathlete.
What's that with one leg?
What?
Decathlete. What it?
Yeah, where they take one leg off.
They take a leg. Okay, good.
They took his third leg off. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Wow, attaboy.
See what happens when you eat so many
See
weenies?
what happens there. But so it's just the comparison to it, and where I'm almost glad we had to suffer through Joe Biden, because you see what the difference is. Everybody here got to see what the difference is when you cater to these mobs and the riots and I don't blame COVID on Biden. He came in after it. It was like Trump that started all of it. But the whole lockdown of everybody, the policing of speech, the getting rid of the alpha male. As I've said, the alpha male didn't exist. I'm sure that whole milk white supremacy thing came from there too. I'm sure that was a hopeful feeling as well. But you just see it now. So for those of you, like I was young, Reagan, 1980. Once again, my 81. I think I was on crutches at that point because I had the cast off. I think sometime in January I had the cast off and I was learning how to walk again. But just what it meant. What it meant, and with Trump 2.0, you're seeing it.
Yeah.
For all the craziness, this is what it felt like when Carter was gone.
And you
This
look
is what
at
it felt like.
I mean, granted, he was the governor at the time, but you look at that famous video of Reagan lecturing the Berkeley crowd and the Berkeley media and just chastising them over the way they cater to children, and it's just the arrogance and the defiance that Reagan had against the traditional politician. And I think he still was a little bit more of a politician than Trump is. It's refreshing. It just really, I'm really, again, I'm very, very grateful that we get to live this era as chaotic as it is, because we're gonna have that appreciation that our parents and our grandparents had for Reagan. We're gonna have that.
Well, the greatest generation grew up being self-reliant. They fought in two wars, and if you were really, really young and you were right, maybe you hit Vietnam as well, you were old, but I mean, you fought in 2 wars. You lived through the Great Depression. You made the American dream, and there was just this hope. Yeah, there was a lot of racism. There was a lot of problems. I'm not belittling it. I'm not trying to make it out to be perfect. It wasn't. Women were treated. I know I've been shitting on the women today, but women were treated very badly back then as well. So there were problems. There always will be problems. But the idea of America, the idea of what we are and the freedoms we have here is what I'm trying to get across today. That's what for me, why I was so upset, and what this does for me. It's why I'm so upset at Eileen Gu. Her father came from China. He didn't want to live there. He brought himself over here. She grew up because he worked hard and brought himself up. She trained here. America gave her everything she has. And she goes to China.
Yeah.
And what's her name? Not her name. The ice skater.
Elisa Liu.
Elisa Liu. Her dad's the same thing. He
Yep.
came to America.
Mhm.
He loves America.
Her father loves America.
Yeah.
Her father wants nothing to do with the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah.
And so you just sit there, and it's just, I try and explain. I can't bring my feelings to people that just didn't understand it. You've got a whole ocean of like teenagers that are now in their mid-20s that grew up on woke, grew up on
Yes.
Barack Obama and all the liberal stuff and the policing of speech and the explosion of online and all this other stuff. And you try and tell them, like, there's a different way.
They don't get it.
There's a better
Yeah.
way. You don't have to be this angry all the time. You don't. Not everything has to bother you. I know that Elisa Liu has liberal ideas.
Yep.
She's very progressive, but she's an American.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she's a
She's
never
a-
Trumper, but she hates Trump. Like
she's an
like,
American. She's
hey,
American.
God bless her. Like you can hate Trump. It's okay. It's
all right.
okay, but you don't have to hate America if you hate Trump. It's so simple. It's so, and that was, the defining moment. I know you said when he called the Democrats crazy. I mean, the defining moment for me of that State of the Union is when he had, he said, like, all you got to do is stand up if you agree with this statement,
Yeah.
and that the government's first obligation is to protect United States citizens against illegal or above illegal immigrants. How do you not stand up for that? Like, again, it doesn't make a difference. You could stand up, and if your party called you out on it or whatever, you could be like, yeah, well, I don't agree with everything that the man says. I don't agree. Obviously, I'm not a Trump fan, but how do you not stand up for that? I mean, I've been saying it all week since the State of the Union. Like, the Democrats are showing you, or at least I shouldn't say the Democrat, this current brand of Democrat, this brand of liberal, is showing you exactly who they are. And I think, the American people have woken up to that as a whole. The only thing left now is, are we brave enough to listen to it and then do something about it? That's the thing. Like, people keep voting these fucking lunatics in. Like, it has to stop. It has to stop. But if we're at this point where they can arrogantly and then try to justify it, like, I'm not going to stand up for defending American citizens over illegal immigrants because of this. No, there is no because. That conversation stops. If you can, like you were saying, talking about Eileen, if you can take everything from this country and become great off of the backs of this country and then turn around and spit on it, that shit's done. That shit is over. Collectively, as a country, we should have a distaste for that, to the point where people no longer feel comfortable doing that. Yeah, I have the freedom of speech. All right, well, having the right does not by proxy make it right. Yeah, you have the right to say that. You have the right to do that. Great. That's something afforded to you by the greatest country on the fucking planet. But just because you have that right doesn't mean it's going to be okay. Like, good luck. You want to talk that shit? Fuck you.
I found myself.
With all due respect.
With all due respect. I found myself finally starting to. I was censoring my speech for a while. I saw it. I saw myself doing it, and I was losing.
Hello, Ginger.
I was losing myself. I really was. And I it's almost. And I guess okay. When you're on the job, you kind of have to watch what you say. Friend of mine's going through that now because he's still on the job and he's going to be retiring soon, and he's gotten in trouble for stuff that he said. But it's refreshing for me.
But even that's his whole separate show, because even that has hypocrisy, and even that has a selective application of that theory. Because you want to talk about, again, I'm not going to go too far down that road, but you want to talk about the whole Palestine-Israel thing. There's some pretty openly anti-Semitic things that were said in the heat of that. I mean, it's not, obviously it's still a conflict that's going on, but when that was front page news, there was a lot of anti-Semitic stuff being thrown around that was pretty much universally accepted, it seemed like, in this country. And you would have law enforcement. There's the famous Patterson situation where you have the cop wearing the Palestinian flag on his vest. That's a problem, bro. When the thing that you are advocating for is openly calling for the annihilation of the Jewish people, that's a little bit. So again, it's a shame that your buddy's going through that, because again, it is selective. Like, just because you take an oath to uphold the law and the Constitution and all, doesn't mean that all of a sudden you don't give up your rights. You don't give up your right to free speech. You don't speak on behalf of the job. You don't speak on behalf of your hiring agency. But again, you still are an American. You still are an American citizen. You don't forego. There's nothing in your oath that forgoes your rights of freedom of speech. You just have to. You can't let that enter into your duties, your enforcement of the law.
I didn't. Well, we all know this. I didn't. You couldn't. There were certain things you couldn't say. There are certain opinions you couldn't have. And I found myself censoring myself outside of the job as well, because it was just, go along to get along. And I was forgetting myself. And so that's probably, if I was to tie up my opinion of today, why I was so upset with the women's hockey team, why I was so upset with a few of these people, because I'm tired of not being able to say what I want to say. I'm tired of having to,
especially when it's not controversial.
I'm tired. I'm tired of being told that I don't live in the greatest country on planet Earth. I'm tired of it. And everyone else can be proud of their country and say whatever they want, but we can't. For some reason, the freest, most open country in the whole world, Canada, you misgender somebody, you go to jail. England's going through this entire Muslim revolution up there with the immigration they have and all the problems they've got now. I said, in the freest country in the world, and I found myself having to censor what I said. And I was like, no more. I
like it.
I hope the players with the WBC for us don't disappoint.
I don't think it's going to be as politically charged, because it's mostly
I hope not. I'm with Mike. I hope not as well.
But it's mostly this hemisphere, and particularly north. You're not getting a lot of players. There might be one. I guess there might be one South American.
Where are the games played this year?
I don't know. Weren't they playing Puerto Rico like a year ago or 2 years ago?
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to get the same thing like
I hope
baseball.
Not. I'm with Mike.
I don't think so. I mean, even
baseball jumped on the whole Black Lives Matter movement pretty heavy.
I mean, football solved racism with the thing.
Yeah, they definitely solved racism. And I always got a kick. I always got a kick too out of Boston having that whole Black Lives Matter banner, like the entire one side of Fenway Park, and then you look back in history, and Boston was literally the last team to integrate and had to be forced to integrate, and by law they had to be forced to integrate, and then so they bought a player up from the minor leagues, I think, for like what was like a couple games at the end of the season, and sent them back down to start the next season. Like they did it in compliance with the order, and then sent them back down. But then here, you fast forward, they're the biggest Black Lives Matter. Get at it. It's all fucking. I hope, Mike. I hope you're right. I with every other reason that I've had to slow down watching baseball, because there's a lot of stuff that you guys love with the strike zone and the pitch clock, and I'm against 99% of it. I'm a traditionalist. I want that old school,
The one thing they could get rid of, I think we've spoken about that too, is the ghost runner.
Oh, it's horrible.
Just get rid of that.
It's horrible.
Get rid of that. I get it. They want every game to be 2.5 hours long. Every sport wants 2.5 hours on and off, commercials at a set time. I get what the business is doing.
I want 3 hours, bonus cantos. Give me some extra innings. Yeah. I want it all.
A 19-inning game,
I want the relativity of the human error. I want the phantom foot swipe at second base again. I want going in hard to bases, block the plate.
How about so just talking about changes, we were talking about hockey. Thoughts on the 3-on-3 overtime?
I like it.
In the Olympics?
Anytime.
And 3-on-3 I like overtime. It, period.
Do you like it?
Yeah. It's faster.
Yeah.
It's faster. It makes it more intense.
And more intense.
To people that are huge hockey fans, and coming from somebody that's not like that, I love playoff hockey. I love that there is an intensity about it that I don't even find in I'm a lifetime baseball watcher. I don't find that kind of intensity prolonged. I mean, yeah, you get a nice, second and third, 2 outs, full count at bat with your team, down by a run. Yeah, that's an intense moment, but sustained intensity. Again, using the Olympics games, like, dude, that was. From the minute that game started, 8 o'clock in the morning, people were pacing around their living room, for the entire game. That was a sustained heart attack.
I finally agreed with Kathy Hochul. For the first time ever, she allowed the bars to open up at 8 o'clock. No one was going to have a problem.
Yeah,
finally did something I agree with.
I think that was like a no-brainer. I think she was either going to do it, voluntarily, or she was going to be voluntold. I think the bars were going to do it whether they had permission or not.
I agree.
There was money to be made and drinks to be had.
Yeah. Good times.
All right, boys.
Got anything else, Mike?
Like I said, baseball season's about to start. Mets got their opening day pitcher, Peralta. Lindor, who knows what's going to happen? He got his stitches out of this new thing that a player, remember last couple of years was the lat muscle.
Yeah.
And everyone, now it's this bone in the hand. That there's something like 5 players out because of that. So I think we're going to see more of that. Yankees, they didn't name their starting pitcher yet. Stanton can't open up he said he can't open up a potato chip bag but look at
Yankees knew what they were getting into with him.
But look,
this whole time in Miami.
I'm pro Stanton. I see him playing. He played 77 games last year, had over 400 bats in that whole time. Still hit over 25 home runs. Still at a high OPS, and that's only.
Well, I think that's the question. You say if not Stanton, who?
And it's I think there's an over and under. I think he's going to go 100 or more. He'll play this year.
Can't open up a can, and you think he's going to do 100?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he played with both elbows the same way last year. Okay. So,
all right. Hope springs eternal.
Kim,
it is spring hope.
What was that from Groundhog Day? Winter, when its long slumber wears on its face a dream of spring.
Wow. you would have a quote from Groundhog Day.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
And
not as good as What About Bob, but
as a nerd, I looked up because it was a book, and how long was he in Punxsutawney? And the book says it was 10,000 days. He woke up 10,000 days before they let him out. And it's supposed to be a parable towards purgatory, because the thing is he's dead, and this is purgatory, and he's got to figure out how to get to heaven, whether he's getting to heaven or hell.
John, that was way too deep.
I know.
that was really that was way too deep. I'll never look at that movie again. The same. You just ruined it for me. Thanks. Plugs. What do you got?
You know me. I'm always the Happy Jack Fund. You can happyjack.org. Gives scholarships to siblings who have lost siblings. It's a wonderful charity that I'm involved with. Also, the BBO Flower Fund, always a good thing to kick some money into as well. Flowers to people who, for a lot of different reasons, but it's usually for someone, an officer, line of duty, people who die, family members who, it's a lovely thing that they do here. And other than that,
USA.
USA
Oh,
and
Mike,
America.
Mike, you have the comedy show. I have the.
Yeah. Again, another group that I'm part of, Still Blue, stillblue.org. We're going to be with another group, Blue Tribe Warrior Sisters. We're doing a fundraiser on March 27th. That's at 8 o'clock. Doors open up at, I think it says 6 o'clock. It's going to be a good time. Two great, charities just like Brother Before Others too.
You got doors open 6:30, dinner at 7, showtime's 8.
Yeah, it's going to be raffles, everything. Got a bunch of good raffles from, I believe we got from the Islanders, Jets, Giants, whole bunch of good stuff. So if you can come down, want to be a sponsor, just look at it. And also starting, today's the last day. I believe it's $65. What do we have now through? March 1st, it's $65. After that, after the first, tickets go to $75. So
This is table at 10, 550.
There you go.
and that's
A
it.
banger.
Oh,
Always.
100%. Listen,
And,
I really feel, honestly, I mean, I don't really have a plug necessarily, but I think we finished the show the same way we started the show.
Wait 1 second.
Oh.
1 second. Our next show,
The 14th of
March.
11 o'clock.
We already know this, so thank you.
Oh, that was
The
it.
first, yeah.
Excellent. So again, I think we start, or check that, we end the show the same way that we started the show. Again, God bless our troops. You know, these men and women doing some of the most badass shit, you know, and you can argue whether it's got anything to do with Trump or, you know, this administration or whatever. Our military's always been head and shoulders above every other country's military. You know, right now we're just seeing, you know, what them supported, streamlined and you know, let loose to do the job that they signed up to do. What these men and women are capable of, they're just fucking vicious. They are just fucking vicious, and thank God for it. You know, it's always it almost sounds condescending, and it's not, but I always I compare it to, like, you know, putting out the trash, right? How undervalued your garbage men and women are. You know, you just take your trash and you put it out to the curb, and you don't give a shit where it goes. You don't give a shit how it gets there. All you know is you put it out to the curb, you get up in the morning and it's gone. Right? Our soldiers are much the same way. A lot of the freedoms that we have, a lot of the things that we enjoy, we don't know how that shit is obtained and protected and watched over every fucking day. We just know that we get up in the morning and we're fucking free. And we're free because of these men and women that are just doing badass shit on our behalf. And obviously, again, overnight and this morning, no different. Just fucking destroying shit. So yeah, God, you know, please watch over these guys and these men and women. I don't want the female hockey team to get their vaginas all up and swollen.
Swollen.
Well, fun fact: vaginas actually do swell. Look it up, boys and girls. Labia swell, Mike. You could say it. No, you could say it, Mike. Labia swell.
Not that I won't be here, but we got
female genitalia swell from arousal. We'll ask the nurses when they
Yes,
get.
yeah,
We'll
that's
ask
what I
them-
was going to say at 3:30 when Dr. Ashley and
when Dr.
Marcel-
Ashley gets here, we will ask that female genitalia swell. John's like, wait, now you lose your tongue, John. Early on, you're female genitalia swell from arousal.
Moist.
But yeah, well, moist. So again, God bless our troops. And swollen genitalia. Yeah, no, please look over these men and women, God, and yeah, boys and girls, if you're over there, fucking snatch their fucking souls. Everybody comes home. All All right, guys, good job.
Here.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His troops in marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damp. I can read his righteous sentence in the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on.